Welcome or welcome back to the Baby channel. I'm Julienne, and in this video I will show you how to crochet Leopold, my large lion Lovey, now redesigned as a complete new sew crochet pattern. Everything crocheted directly into the piece as you go, so there's no sewing at the end. Even the mane is worked in soft curls, creating beautiful texture without any loose loops where tiny hands could get caught. I will guide you through the full construction, step by step, so you can see exactly how Leopold comes together from start to finish. And if you would like to have the written instruction, you can buy the full pattern in my web shop. Now grab your yarn and hook and let's start crocheting. To make the lion you need 3 colors of super wool chenille yarn. One, the main color, which can be mustard, curry, caramel, light brown. You need about 100 meter, 105 yards. Then you need for the muzzle like a cream, oat milk, nude, beige, depending on your desired color. Here you need about 15 meter or 20 yards. For the tail tip you need a little brown of 5 meter or 6 yards. And if you're using the same color, the same yarn right for the mane, then you need 1 skein of this color, which are about 70 meter or 75 yards. Alternative to the super bulky chenille yarn, as here you can use a bulky chenille yarn in the color brown, and here you also need the same size, about 70 meter or 75 yards. For the claws you need brown cotton yarn with the yarn weight about 3 millimeter up to 4 millimeter, depending on how prominent the claws want to be. Then you need the corresponding crochet hook for your main color as a super bulky chenille yarn, or if you're also going to use a bulky chenille yarn, then of course the corresponding crochet hook size. Then you need some scissors, a tapestry needle, 6 stitch markers, polyester toy stuffing, and optional, but highly recommended, some row counter. We start with the arms. Take your main color and do a magic ring. So, for the first round, do 6 single crochet stitches into that ring. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now close the opening by gently pulling at the yarn tail. For round 2, we want to have 12 total stitches, so we increase 6 times. So here, stitch into the first stitch, because we continue in spiral rounds, and do your first single crochet stitch. Then add the stitch marker to mark the beginning of the round. Then, to do your first increase, do another single crochet stitch into the same stitch. So, now you have 2, and you continue with doing 2 single crochet stitches into the next stitch, and now 5 more times. 1 more time, 2 more times, 3 more times, the 4th times, and 5th time. So now you have 12 total stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now for round 3 and 4, we do 2 rounds of 12 total stitches. So 1 single crochet stitch into every stitch. The stitch marker, and then continue with single crochet stitches all the way around. So round 4 is the next one, and also we do 12 total stitches. So no increase, no decrease, plain single crochet stitches all the way around. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. For round 5, we want to go back to 10 total stitches, and here we decrease 2 times, and the method is 4 single crochet stitches and 1 decrease, and this we repeat 1 more time. So 1, 2, 3, 4 single crochet, and then 1 decrease. This means the next 2 stitches we crochet together, but only into the front loops. So again, 4 single crochet stitches, 3 and 4, and then stitch into the next one only in the front loop, then in the following one. Now you have 3 loops on the hook, then grab the yarn, bring the yarn through the first 2 loops. Now you have your 2 loops you know from the single crochet, and then grab the yarn and finish the single crochet stitch. So for round 6, 7, and 8, we do 3 rounds of 10 single crochet stitches. Take your yarn tail inside of the arm, and then continue. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So 1 round done, 2 to go, and again 10 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So for round 8, again 10 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So for round 9, we want to go back to 8 total stitches, and here we do 3 single crochet stitches, 1, 2, 3, 1 decrease, and we repeat this 1 more time. One, 2, 3 single crochet stitches and 1 decrease, and this 1 more time. 1, 2, 3, and then 1 decrease. So for round 10, 11, and 12, we do 3 rounds of 8 single crochet stitches. So no decrease, no increase here. Add your stitch mark into the first stitch. So 1 done, and 7 more single crochet stitches. So we have 8 total. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So 2 more rounds. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So for round 13, which will be our last regular round, we want to go back to 6 total stitches, and here we do 2 single crochet stitches and 1 decrease, and this 2 times. So 1, 2 single crochet stitches, 1 decrease, and again 1, 2 single crochet stitches and 1 decrease. Now remove the stitch marker, fold the arm, and crochet the 2 opposite stitches together with single crochet stitches. So 1, 2, and 3. Then cut the yarn with about the length. Yeah. Then take your tapestry needle, turn the arm because you have more like the front side, and here's the back side. You see that the back side is a little bit thinner, or we have a little slide here. So, and then secure the yarn by weaving in the yarn tail. 1, 2, and then hide the yarn tail inside the arm. So your arm is finished, and you do a second arm like this. Okay, and also here take your tapestry needle and make sure you weave in your yarn tail. So cut the yarn left over, and now you have your 2 arms. Now we do the tail. Start with the tail tip color, and again do a magic ring. and also reset your row counter. So again, for round 1 we do 6 single crochet stitches into the magic ring. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Again, close the opening by gently pulling at the yarn tail, and then move over to round 2. And here we want to have 8 total stitches. That means we do 2 single crochet stitches and 1 increase, and this 2 times total. So again, stitch into the first stitch, add your stitch marker into the first stitch to mark the beginning of the round, and then do a single crochet stitch into the following stitch. So in the third stitch you crochet 2, so you have your first increase. So, and then you have 3 stitches left, and again you do 2 single crochet stitches in the next 2 stitches, and in the last stitch you crochet 2, so you do your second increase here. For round 3 we stay 8 total stitches. This means you do single crochet stitches all the way around, 8 total. So one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. For round 4 we want to go back to 6 total stitches, and here we do the opposite. We do 2 single crochet stitches first, and then we do a decrease, and this will repeat 1 more time. 1, 2 single crochet, and stitch 3 and 4 we crochet together, and this becomes our first decrease. So, and then 1 more time. 1, 2 single crochet stitches and 1 decrease. So before finishing the stitch I grab my main color, because we now switch over to our main color and continue the tail with our main color. So you can do the invisible decrease. This color change. That means you finish this one and then cut the yarn and start over. But you can also do the visible change, like I do here. So, and then we finished our round 4. And now for 6 rounds, from round 5 to 10, we do 6 single crochet stitches with the main color. So. So what I like to do is I cut the yarn, the tail tip color, and to make sure that it's secure, I do a double knot. So, and then do your 6 rounds of single crochet stitches. When you reach the end of round 10, I will see you there. So you have now done your 6 rounds of 6 single crochet stitches and you finished round 10. And now we do the same like the arms. We fold the tail and crochet the 2 opposite stitches together with single crochet stitches, and then you have 3 stitches. So 1, 2, 3. Again, cut the yarn, turn the piece so that the yarn tails at the right side. Take your tapestry needle and weave in the yarn tail. So you can hide the tail inside the tail, or you can cut it. So now your tail is also finished, and we move over to the ears. For the ears, take your main color again and do a magic ring. Also reset your round counter. So for the ears, we also start with 6 single crochet stitches into that magic ring. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So close the opening, stitch into the first stitch of round 1, and crochet a single crochet stitch on top of this. Add your stitch marker. So for round 2, we want to increase by 6, so we have 12 total stitches. This means for the same stitch, we do another single crochet stitch, and then we do 2 single crochet stitch into every stitch of the round. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So for round 3, we want to stay at 12 total stitches, so we do 1 single crochet stitch all the way around. No increase, no decrease. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So round 4, which will be our last regular round, we want to go back to 8 total stitches, and here we do 1 single crochet stitch and 1 decrease, and this we do 4 times. So 1 single crochet, 1 decrease, we have 2, 1 single, 1 decrease, single, decrease, and 1 more time, single crochet stitch and decrease. So hide the yarn tail inside the ear, remove the stitch marker, and again fold the ear and crochet the 2 opposite stitches together the single crochet stitches so that you have 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So cut the yarn, turn your ear, and weave in the yarn tail. One, 2. So your first ear is done, and now you crochet another ear. So now that your ears are done, we move over to the legs. For the legs, take your main color and do a magic ring. So, like always in this pattern, we start with 6 single crochet stitches into that ring. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So close the opening, and now we move over to round 2, and here we want to have 12 total stitches. This means we do 6 increases, aka 2 single crochet stitches into every stitch. So first 2 stitches into the first one, and this 5 more times, so we have 12 total stitches. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9, 10, 11, and 12. For round 3, we want to have 16 total stitches, and here we do 2 single crochet stitches and 1 increase, and this we do 4 times in total. So 1, 2 single crochet stitches, and into the third stitch we crochet 2 single crochet stitches. So now we have 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we repeat this 3 more times. 1, 2 single, and 1 increase. Again, 1, 2 single crochet stitches, and 1 increase. So you have 3 stitches left, and here you do 1, 2 single crochet stitches, and in the last one you increase. So for round 4, 5, and 6, we do 3 rounds of 16 single crochet stitches, so no increase, no decrease, just plain single crochet stitches all the way around for the next 3 rounds. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. So 1 round down, 2 to go. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. So last round, round number 6, also with 16 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. So for round 7, we want to go back to 12 total stitches, and here we do 2 single crochet stitches and 1 decrease, and this we do 4 times. So 1, 2 single crochet stitches, and then 1 decrease, and again 2 single crochet stitches, 1 decrease, 2 single crochet stitches, 1 decrease, and finally 2 single crochet stitches, and then finish the round with a decrease. 1, 2, decrease. So for round 8, we want to go back to 9 total stitches, and again we do 2 single crochet stitches and 1 decrease, but this time 3 times. So 1, 2 single crochet stitches, 1 decrease, 1, 2 single crochet stitches, 1 decrease, and one last time, 2 single crochet stitches, and your last decrease. So for round 9, we want to have 6 total stitches, and here we do 1 single crochet and 1 decrease, and this we do 3 times. One single crochet, 1 decrease, so 1 single crochet, 1 decrease, and again 1 single crochet, and then finish the round with a decrease. So now we stay with 6 total stitches, and we do single crochet stitches all the way around, and this for 15 rounds, from round 10 up to 24 we do 6 single crochet stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So, and you continue with your 6 single crochet stitches until you reach the end of round 24, and I will see you there. So we now have done our 15 rounds of 6 single crochet stitches, and now we want to start preparing for the body and preparing the legs to connect. And the first thing we are going to do is for round 25, we want to increase by 6. So we have 12 total stitches. This means increase in every stitch. So I got 2 single crochet stitches into every stitch. So 2 in the first one, 2 in the second stitch, 2 in the third, and so on. So 10, 11, and 12. For round 26, we want to increase by 2, so we have 14 total stitches. And here we do 5 single crochet stitches and 1 increase, and this 2 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 single crochet, and then we do 1 increase, and again 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 single crochet stitches, and then we finish the round with 1 increase. So round 27, we want to increase by 2 again, so we have 16 total stitches. And here we do 6 single crochet stitches and then 1 increase, and again we repeat this 1 more time. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then in the 7th stitch we do an increase, and now we repeat this 1 more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And in the last stitch we do 2 single crochet stitches. So when you have done the first leg, cut the yarn at the length, and then crochet another leg. So your first leg, you have your tail cutted, and for your second leg you leave the tail as it is, because we want to continue with the body right away. So we now connecting the legs and starting the body. And here the first thing you're going to do is to remove the stitch marker and place the legs next to each other. The first leg with the cutted yarn is on the left side, and the second leg with the working yarn on the right side. So the first thing you're going to do is you chain 2, 1 and 2, then place the second leg that the yarn tail is at the end, or like facing to the other leg, and then stitch into the stitch next the cutted yarn and do a single crochet stitch. So add your stitch marker, and your 2 legs are now connected. So This connecting stitch is also now your first stitch of every round. So as every leg has 16 total stitches, and we have already done our connected stitch, which is our first stitch, we do 15 more single crochet stitches on this leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. So now we do 2 single crochet stitches into the 2 chain stitches, and to avoid any hole, what I like to do is you also use the connected stitch. So you stitch into the one marked with a stitch marker, then you carry over the yarn tail and then stitch into the first chain stitch. So now you have 3 loops on the hook. Bring the yarn tail above the hook, then grab the yarn and bring the yarn through the first 2 loops. Now you have 2 loops left, and then you finish your normal single crochet stitch like always. So now bring this tail to the front and ignore it. So then you do a single crochet stitch into the next chain stitch. So, and now we continue with your second leg, and here we do 16 single crochet stitches because we do not have any connected stitch here. And to avoid any holes here, if you're turning, you see, or you should have a larger leg. This one, which caused by the chain stitches. So you stitch into this one, but only into the front loop. And then you stitch into your first leg stitch, but here through both loops. So the front loop and the back loop. Now you have 3 or 4 loops, depending if you're counting this as 1 or 2. So then grab the yarn, bring it through the first 2 loops, and then finishing your single crochet stitch as you normally do. So, and you see now it's connected without any holes. So, and you repeat this 15 more times. Also, we do now 15 more single crochet stitches because we already have done the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12, 13, 14, and 15. So, and then you finish the round with doing 2 single crochet stitch into the chain stitch. 1 and 2. So now you have 36 stitches, or you should have 36 stitches. So I recommend to double check by counting, and then we already have done our round 1 of the body. Now we continue with the body, and here for round 2 and 3 we do 2 rounds of 36 single crochet stitches. So add your stitch mark into the first stitch to mark the beginning of the round. So 1, and continue with single crochet stitches. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30, 31, 32, 23, 24, 5, and 6. So for round 3, again we do a round with single crochet stitches all the way around. No increase, no decrease, plain single crochet stitches. 36 again. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30, 31, 32, 23, 4, 5, and 6. So what I'm going to do now is I'm starting knotting the legs because it's wobbling around, but you can also keep crocheting until you finish the body and then crochet the leg, but I like to do it now. So to crochet to knot the legs, we want to have the knotted part at the front, and here we bring the yarn thread from the inside to the outside, from the front to the back. So also this way the feet is tiny bending towards the middle, and then they're touching each other, which is, in my opinion, quite cute. So again, take a leg from the inside to the outside and then bring it to the front. So, and now your legs are also connected. So for round 4, now we start our decreasing, and here The most important thing is we want to have the decrease appear on the side, and that our front part and our back side looks quite nice and neat. And later with the arm attaching to the body, the kind of hide the decreasing, and also with on the side part you hardly see any decreasing. If you're doing decrease on the front or back side, then in the earlier version it may a little line may appear, which is not so nice looking, though what I like to prefer is to do the decrease here. And we also at the beginning we want to decrease 2 times, so 1 here and 1 here. So, and depending on your tension, you may need 1 single crochet more or less than I do. For you, the most important stuff is that your decrease is here. So for my tension, I need 7 single crochet stitches to come here. And again, if you need 1 more or 2 less, it's really up to you. So the pattern also allows this. So for me, I start with 7 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So do a double check. I'm now here. And now I do my first decrease. No. So, and now we do single crochet stitches until we reach the other side. In my case, these are 16 single crochet stitches. Again, if you need 1 more or less, it's really up to you. The most important thing is you do 2 decreases on the side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. So now you do your second decrease. So, and then you finish with single crochet stitches. In my case, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So for round 5, you now want to add the tail. And here again, the most important thing is that the tail is centered aligned. So, and in this round, we do not do any decrease or increase here. We stay at 34 stitches. So, and to support this, what I like to do is I grab 3 stitch markers. Let's do the same color. So, and then find the center of the back here, and then do on the left and on the right side also add a stitch marker. So make sure it's now centered aligned. So because we have our 3 single crochet stitches here, we also want to add this here. So, and now you do single crochet stitches until 1 stitch before the stitch marker. So, in my case, is 15, but again, if you need more or less, it's totally fine. The most important one is that the tail is center aligned on the back. And here with a stitch marker, you can really control your positioning. So now I remove the 3 stitch markers. So then I grab my tail, and then you have the front and the back side. The back side is the one where you did your color change, and you place this facing towards the body, and then you connect the tail with the body, and here you stitch first through the tail stitch and then stitch to the body stitch, and then connecting them with a single crochet stitch. So again, with your 2 remaining, make sure you're grabbing both legs, so both loops, the front and the back. So do a final lock, everything nice and centered, and then continue with single crochet stitches until you reach the end of the round. It's simple as it is. So I know sewing, just crochet in. It's not only better for our mood, it's also a little bit more secure because you do not have any tail to come off later. So as we now have no increase, no decrease here, the next one, round 6, is a decrease round again, and here we do our 2 decreases on the side. In my case, these are 7 single crochet stitches, 1 decrease, 15 single crochet stitches, 1 decrease, and then 8 single crochet stitches. But again, if you need to adapt due to your tension, it's totally fine. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So I am on the side now. Then I do my decrease, and then I do 15 single crochet stitches to reach the other side. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No, where's my yarn? 10. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I'm on the other side, do my second decrease here, and then finishing with single crochet stitches, in my case 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So round 7 is called a stay round. So for round 7 we do no decrease, no increase here, but 32 single crochet stitches. So as you see, you have no lining up here, And as we're doing our decrease here, it's tiny, tiny visible, but hardly, because we have our natural bending here. And then later with our arms, the decreases are almost invisible. So 1, 7, 32 single crochet stitches. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30, and 31, and 32. So round 8 is a decrease round again, and as always we do our 2 decrease on the side. In my case I start with 7 single crochet stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. When you do your first decrease, then single crochet stitches all the way to the other side. In my case 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. So now you do your second decrease, and then you finish the round with single crochet stitches, in my case 7. 4, 5, 6, and 7. So round 9 is a normal round with single crochet stitches all the way around, and here 30. So I need some yarn. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 29, and 30. So Round number 10 is the decrease round again. And here we want to go back from 30 to 28 stitches. And again, I start with my 7 single crochet stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Then I do my decrease here. Then I do my 13 single crochet stitches until I reach the other side. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, no, 13. Then I do my second decrease. And then I finish with 6 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So round 11 is a normal round, so no decrease here. So we do 28 single crochet stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 3, 4, 5, 6, 27, and 28. So round 12 is a decrease round, and I start with my 7 single crochet stitches. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then your decrease. So then you do 12 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So then you do your second decrease and you finish the round with 5 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So now is our last round without any decreases. So for round 13 we do 26 total stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, and 26. So now for round 14, we want to increase by 2 again, and here we start with our normal 7 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Then you decrease. Sorry. Now you do 11 single crochet stitches until you reach the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Then you do your second decrease and you finish your round with 4 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So now we want to decrease by 3, and here, to avoid any decreasing being right above, we do 3 single crochet stitches, 1 decrease, and 3 single crochet stitches again, and this will repeat 2 more times. So we start with 3 single crochet stitches, then you do a decrease, and then you do another 3 single crochet stitches. So, and now we repeat this 2 more times. 3 single crochet stitches, 1 decrease, and then 3 single crochet stitches. So 1 more time, 3 single crochet stitches, 1 decrease, and then 3 single crochet stitches. So if you want to make the Lovey or the snuggler stuffy, now it's the time to add stuffing to your body. But as I want to have it as a Lovey, I continue crocheting without the stuffing. So for round 16, we want to go back from 21 to 18 stitches, and here we do 5 single crochet stitches, 1 decrease, and this we do 3 times. So again, in the previous round we do 3 decrease and 3. Otherwise we would have 6 single crochet stitches and 1 decrease. And now doing 5 1 decrease, that we have all these decreases all above each other, and it can here, though these not so nice looking lines may appear, but with alternating this 1 we are avoiding these lines. So again, round 16, we do 5 single crochet stitches and 1 decrease, and this 3 times total. So 2, 3, 4, 5 single crochet stitches and 1 decrease, and again 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 single crochet stitches, 1 decrease, and one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 single crochet stitches and 1 decrease. So for round 17 we want to decrease by 3, and again we do not want to have, instead of doing 4 single crochet and 1 decrease, we do 2 single crochet stitches, 1 decrease and 2 single crochet stitches, and this 3 times so that we have 3 decreases. So 1, 2, your first decrease, and then 2 single crochet stitches. So our first set of 5 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is done, and now we repeat this 2 more times. 2 single crochet stitches, 1 decrease, and 2 single crochet stitches. So 1 set or 1 repeat left, 2 single crochet stitches, 1 decrease, and then 2 single crochet stitches. So for round 18 we want to decrease 3 times again, and here we want to go back from 15 to 12, and here we do 3 single crochet stitches and 1 decrease, and this 3 times. So 1, 2, 3 single crochet stitches and 1 decrease, and we repeat this 1, 2, 3 single crochet stitches and 1 decrease. One more time, 1, 2, 3 single crochet stitches and then 1 decrease. So now is the time to crochet in the arm. So grab your 2 arms. So for round 19 we start with a single crochet stitch. Add your stitch marker. So then we do 1 decrease. So then we do 1 single crochet stitch. So now is the time to grab the arm, and we crochet the arm with 3 single crochet stitches. So stitch first through an arm stitch and then through a body stitch and do your single crochet stitch, And this you will do with the 2 remaining arm stitches. So stitch first through an arm stitch, then through a body stitch, and do your single crochet stitch, and one more time arm stitch, body stitch, and then do your single crochet stitch. So now we are at the back side. Here we do 1 single crochet stitch and 1 decrease. So now grab your second arm, stitch first through an arm stitch, then through a body stitch, do a single crochet stitch to connect both, and then in the second arm stitch, the middle stitch, again stitch into the arm stitch, then through a body stitch, do a single crochet stitch, and round 19 is now finished. So then for round 20 we only do 1 stitch, and here we do the last arm stitch. So stitch first through an arm stitch, then through a body stitch, and finish. So then finish with a slip stitch. Then cut the yarn and finish the body. Now that we finished the body, you can cut the tail and hide it inside the body. So now take 5 stitch markers and add them in the 4 front stitch of the body. 1, 2, 3. The front 3 are the ones on the belly side, and then we add 1 left and 1 right, which will be an arm stitch. So this one is the decrease stitch. This was the single crochet stitch, single crochet stitch, and these are the 2 arm stitch. So, and now we start the head. For the head, we start with the muzzle color, and again with a magic ring. For round 1, we do 6 single crochet stitches into that ring. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So close the opening, and we move over to round 2. For round 2, we want to have 12 total stitches, so we do an increase in every stitch, but we start in the second round with a color change. So stitch into the first stitch and do your first single crochet stitch. Add the stitch marker to mark the beginning of the round, and then crochet another single crochet stitch into the same stitch. So we want to have 10 stitches with the muzzle color, so we repeat the increase 4 more times. So 1, 2, yeah, already have. Stitch number 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and one more time, 10. So, but here we do not finish the stitch with the same color, but we switch over to our main color and finish this single crochet stitch with the main color. So, in the last stitch, you crochet 2 single crochet stitches with the main color. 1 and 2, and again the second stitch you do not finish with the main color, but you switch over to the muslin color again. So, for round number 3, we want to increase by 2, so we have 14 total stitches, and here we start with an increase with the muslin color. Add the stitch marker in the first stitch, so you know where you started, and then do another single crochet stitch into the same stitch, so you have your first increase. Then you crochet 8 single crochet stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. In the next stitch, you crochet 2 single crochet stitches. Also, you do an increase, but you finish the second stitch with the main color. So, now you see you have 2 stitches done with the main color. In the first one, you do a single crochet stitch, and you also do another single crochet stitch into the last one. So, and this time you finish the stitch with the main color as we continue with the main color. So, we move the stitch marker and start round 4 with a single crochet stitch with the main color, but switch over to your muslin color to finish the single crochet stitch. So, add the stitch marker. So, now you do an increase, so 2 single crochet stitch into the next stitch. So, then you do 9 single crochet stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So, then you increase. This means you do 2 single crochet stitches to the same stitch, but you finish the second stitch with the main color. So, and now for the main color, you have 2 stitches left. In the first one, you do a single crochet stitch, and in the second stitch, you crochet 2, so you increase here. 1 and 2. And round 4 is now finished. For round 5, we start with a single crochet stitch with the main color, but finish the stitch with the muslin color. So, now you do an increase, so 2 single crochet stitches into the next stitch, 1 and 2, and then you do 11 single crochet stitches with the muzzle color, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So in this last stitch you crochet 2, but you finish the second stitch with the main color. So you see you have 3 stitches left. In the first one you do a single crochet stitch, and in the remaining 2 you do an increase. Increase 1 and increase 2. So you have now done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stitches done with your main color. So we're starting the round with a single crochet stitch into the main color, but finish the stitch with the muzzle color. So we finished our round 5, and we also do not go back to the muzzle color. So means you can cut the yarn, and we only continue with the main color. So we move the stitch marker and we start with a single crochet stitch, working through both loops. So to have a more clean line, we're now only working into the back loop only. Remember, a stitch has a front loop, and a back loop, and while working in the muzzle color, we're only working into the back loop. So, and here we start with an increase, and this only into the back loop. So 1 and 2. So, then we do 13 single crochet stitches, but only into the back loops. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. In this remaining stitch done with the muzzle color, we do an increase, but also into the back loop only. 1 and 2. So now it looks like this. You see like a small line. So, and from now on we continue with working in both loops. So we start with 3 single crochet stitches, 1, 2, and 3. Then we do an increase, so working 2 single crochet stitches into the same stitch, and finish the round with a single crochet stitch. So now we have 24 stitches. Do your counting to double check. And then we move over to round 7. For round 7, we start with an increase. Add the stitch marker in the first stitch to mark the beginning of the round. So. Then we continue with 18 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Now we do an increase. So 2 single crochet stitch into the same stitch. Then we do 2 single crochet stitches. 1 and 2. And you should have 2 stitches left. And in the very top, you do an increase. And in the very last, you do a normal single crochet stitch. So now you have 27 total stitches. So for round 8, we want to increase by 3, so we have 30 total stitches. In the first stitch of the round, we do a single crochet stitch. In the second, we do an increase, so 2 single crochet stitches into the same stitch. Then we do 20 single crochet stitches until we reach this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. So in the next stitch we do an increase, so 2 single crochet stitches into the same stitch. Then we do 2 single crochet stitches, 1, 2. So we now should have 2 stitches left. So in the second to last, we do an increase, 1, 2, and in the very last stitch, you do a normal single crochet stitch. So now for round 9 and 10, these are the rounds where we connect the head onto the body. So grab your body and place it nearby. So we're starting the round by only working in the head stitches. So remove your stitch marker and start with a single crochet stitch. Then we do an increase. So, and now we do 8 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So now with the next 5 stitches we want to connect the head onto the body. Depending on your tension, you might need one stitch more or less, because the most important thing is we want to have the head later aligned and straight onto the face. That means if you're taking your head and fold it, so you see the stitch on the very left side. This is our stitch number 3, and then you should have 2 stitches on the left side and on the right side. These are the one where you connect the head. So in my case, I need these stitches, but you may need one more or less, so it's really up to your tension. So to connect the head onto the body, you take your body, turn it that the back is facing towards you. So, and we have the 5 stitch markers facing away from you. So then you remove the first stitch marker, the one on the very right side. So the back with the tail is facing towards you, and the belly side is touching the table. So then you stitch first through a body stitch from the inside out. That means from the inside of the body to the outside. If you would do from the outside to the inside, we would go this way, but we want to go this way. So stitch first through a body stitch. So then take the head and stitch through the head stitch. So we have here the working loop and the body stitch and the head stitch. Then grab the yarn, bring the yarn through the head and the body stitch. So you have your 2 loops on the hook, and then finish your single crochet stitch like you always do. So, and now you continue with the other 4 stitches. Remove the stitch marker, stitch first through a body stitch from the inside to the outside, then through a head stitch, and then finish your single crochet stitch. So, and this you do with all 5 stitches. First through the head body stitch from the inside to the outside, then through a head stitch, grab the yarn, bring it through the head and the body stitch, and then finish your single crochet stitch. So 2 more left. Body stitch, head stitch, and then finish your single crochet stitch. And one more time, bring it through a body stitch and then through the head stitch. So it now looks like this. You still have the opening to stuff the body if you want to stuff the body. So now is the time to finish stuffing the body, because in the next round we are closing this opening here. So now we continue with only working in the head stitches, and now we do 9 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So then you do an increase. So 2 single crochet stitches into the same stitch. Then you do 2 single crochet stitches, 1 and 2. At the very top, you do an increase. So 2 single crochet stitches into the same stitch. And in the remaining 2 stitches, you do a single crochet stitch. So now you should have 33 stitches. Please check again and count the stitch to make sure you have your 33 stitches. And then our round 9 is done. For round 10, we continue with only working in the head stitches. So, and we start with 10 single crochet stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So now grab your piece. So when you now look at your face, you see that it may or it should bend slightly towards the left side. So, and with now connecting our second round, it now should bend this way. So if it's bended too much to this side, then you may need do another single crochet stitch and then start connecting the one. If it's still facing this one because of your tension, then you need one less and then start connecting. So it's really up to your tension and how your position is. So in my case, 10 stitches, then I start connecting. So now in round 9, we did connecting, or we stitch from the inside out. You mean from inside to the outside, but now from the back side, we go from the outside to the inside. So from here to here. So if my tip is to add 5 stitch markers, that you know that where are your 5 stitches to be, because it can be tricky and you may skip stitch or work 2 times on 1 stitch. So add your 5 stitch markers. So if you want, you can start connecting so you can see if it's straight or not. So now I start the stitching in or stitch into an arm stitch from the outside to the inside. Then I rotate my piece and stitch through a head stitch. When I'm through the stitch, I remove the stitch marker and then I finish my single crochet stitch. So now I continue stitching into the next stitch, into the body stitch, from the outside to the inside, and then through the head stitch. So then I remove the stitch marker and finish my single crochet stitch. So, and I continue with the remaining 3 stitches, working first through a body stitch, then a head stitch, and then finish my single crochet stitch. Again, body stitch, body stitch, head stitch, remove the stitch marker and finish my single crochet stitch, and then you have 1 stitch left, body stitch, head stitch, and finish your single crochet stitch. So let's turn the piece to see if it's straight. In my case, yes. And you see the bending towards this one is now history, and we have a straight aligned face. So, and now it's quite easy. We finish our round 10 with 18 single crochet stitches. If you had to adapt here to add 1 or 1 less stitch, then of course the adaptations appear also here. But as we do have no increase, no decrease, we stay at 33 stitches. You just do single crochet stitches all the way around. At the end of the round, do your double check and count your stitches to make sure you have 33 stitches. But you do not have to worry about any increases, decreases here. So that makes round 10, our second round, connecting the head on to the body, quite easy. So, if this is your first piece where you have done this connecting method, it may be a little bit tricky, but if you do it 2 or 3 times, then it becomes quite easy with practice. So. So, our head and our body is now connected. This is how it looks inside of the head and from the other one. So, no holes, no part, nice and clean. So, now you have the opportunity to add the eyes, but I prefer to also add the ears first and then continue with the head, and before starting decreasing, then I will insert the eyes. But if you want to insert the eyes, you can also start insert the eyes, but I want to attach the ears first, which we are going now in round 11. Remove the stitch marker, take your first ear and position it this way that the ear is bending a little bit towards the nose. So, in my case it's the front side, it's the back side. So, position it this way, then flip it so that head and ear are touching each other. So, then stitch first through an ear stitch and then through a head stitch. So this is the working stitch, this is the ear stitch, this is the head stitch. Grab the yarn, bring the yarn through the head and the ear stitch. Now it looks like a normal single crochet stitch, and you finish the stitch as you normally do. So add your stitch marker so you know where you started, and then continue with the remaining 3 stitches. Stitch first through an ear stitch, then through a head stitch, and finish the stitch. Then stitch number 3, stitch first through an ear stitch, then a head stitch, and one more time, stitch first through an ear stitch and then through a head stitch. So. Then in my case, I do 18 single crochet stitches and then I start connecting second ear. So. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12, 13, 14, 15, 17, and 18. So. Then position the second ear, make sure it is aligned, it looks symmetrical. So this one. So then I mark the 4 head stitches with a stitch marker, or you only need 1, 2, 3, 4. So make sure it's aligned. So. So 18, 19, 20 stitches done. So then I can remove my stitch markers. I know it's a little bit extra step, but I like to do the extra mile here to really make sure that everything is centered and aligned. So then I grab my second ear and connecting the same way as the first one. So stitch first through an ear stitch, then through a head stitch, and you do the same with the remaining 3. Ear stitch, head stitch, finish, ear stitch, head stitch, finish, and one more time, ear stitch, head stitch, and finish. So make sure it's aligned, and then finish the round with single crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3, so. And now the ears are attached to the head. Now's the time to insert the eyes. So you can use whatever eyes you want. I'm going with this guy with 80mm sinker eyes in green. So, and then I position the eyes here and here, so between the first and the second full round of the main color. And then also position so, following the natural curve of this one. So you can do it more broader if you want to. It's really up to your preference and your desired look. So play with the positioning. Do what one more narrow or wider. So it's really up to your preference. So I think I'm going this. Yeah. So eye one and the second eye. So one eye is now attached, and now we can move over to round 12, and here we want to start decreasing, and we want to go back from 33 stitches to 30 stitches, so we do 3 increases here. And the pattern instruction for this one is quite simple. We do 9 single crochet stitches and 1 decrease, and this we do 3 times. So remove your stitch marker, do your first single crochet stitch, add the stitch mark again, so, and do 8 more, so you have 9 single crochet stitches done. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Then do your first decrease, and then you do it 2 more times with 9 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Your second decrease, and then 1 more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and the remaining 2 we crochet together and have our last decrease. So now normally I would alternate here and would do 4 single crochet stitches, 1 decrease and 4 single crochet stitches to avoid any visible lines. But as this part are going to be hidden behind the hair, behind the man, I do not need to care about any visible lines, so I can go straight to 8 single crochet stitches and 1 decrease, and again I do this 3 times. So I go back from 30 total stitches to 27 total stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Then your first decrease, and then we repeat with 8 single crochet stitches and 1 decrease. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Your second decrease, and then everything one more time. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and the last stitch of the round is a decrease. So for round 14 we want to go back from 27 stitches to 24 stitches, and here, plain and simple, we do 7 single crochet stitches and then 1 decrease, and this we do 3 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Do your first decrease, and then we repeat this 2 more times with 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 single crochet stitches and a decrease. So, and one more time, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and the last one is a decrease. So now we want to speed up the process, and for round 15 we want to have 6 decreases, so we go from 24 to 18 total stitches, and here we do 2 single crochet stitches and 1 decrease, and this 6 times. So 1, 2, so 1, 2 single crochet stitches and your first decrease, and now we repeat this until we reach the end of the round. 2 single crochet stitches and 1 decrease. 1, 2 single crochet stitches, and 1 decrease, and so on until we reach the end of the round. So. One, 2, and your decrease, and one more time. 1, 2 single crochet stitches and your decrease. So now it's time to start stuffing the head. So adding your stuffing material. So make sure that the muzzle, the nose part is also stuffed firmly. So. And then we continue, and we only have 2 rounds left. For round 16, we want to go back from 18 total stitches to 12 total stitches. So here we do 1 single crochet stitch and 1 decrease, and this we do 6 times. So we have our 6 decreases. So 1 single crochet stitch, 1 decrease stitch, and this you do all the way around. Single, decrease, single, decrease, single, decrease, and continue until you reach the end of your round. So single and your decrease. So last round, we want to go back from 12 to 6 total stitches, and here every stitch is a decrease stitch. So 6 decreases total. So you see, with our decreases happen after 9 single crochet stitches, 8 and 7. You may see that this is not the most best looking pair, but as this part is going to be hidden behind the ear, then the mane doesn't really matter. So you also see like a little line, but it will be invisible because of the hair. So we continue with our decrease stitches. So 6 total, 3 done, 3 to go. So and last decrease stitch. So now remove your crochet hook, cut the yarn with thumb length. So remove the stitch marker and then finish stuffing the head. So. Do not make sure that you do not understuff the head. This is one thing I have done quite at the beginning of my amigurumi crochet career. So check if you want to. So also last time checking if everything is symmetrical. Yeah. And then continue stuffing the head. Nice, clean. So. When all stuffing material is inside the head, we can fasten off and close the hole. So, take your tapestry needle. So, round 17 is finished. We can remove our bow counter. So, and then we close the opening. So I go from the outside to the inside, but I'm only working in the front loop stitch. So then in the next stitch, I go from the inside to the outside. And then I continue until I reach my starting point. So once done, then I can close. So, and then I do a double knot. So, and hide the yarn tail inside the head. So, and here I'm going to do not cut the yarn, but add everything, because the yarn tail also can function as stuffing material. So a tip here, if you're using a scissors, open it a little bit, no? Just a little bit, then you have the nice grip and it can bring the yarn nice and easy. So our head is now finished. No, from this look, it may look quite flat here. It's because we have one row less than my normal snuggler, but this is intentional as we're going to build up the hair here. It's getting quite big. And if you're having like the normal shape head with the nice round here, then it will look very, very out of proportion and big. So that's why we have quite a flattened back head. So. And now the head is done. So the next step, if you want to, is really optional. If you do not have some white shining through because of your technique or the yarn, whatever, you now have the option to clean this out. So this is technical, then a little bit of sewing, but it's really up to you. So what you can do, this is what I have done at this little guy. I have cleaned here. You don't have to, but you can do if you want. So let me show you the process. I take a bit of the yarn, the main color, do my tapestry needle. So what you can do, you can stitch here, then you can come out the starting point, leave a bit of a tail, and then what you can do is to stitch in this part and come out at this part. So then you can pull, no? And if you want to, then you bring it back to the middle point and then to the starting point, pull, so. And then you can double knot and insert the yarn tail inside the head. What I do not want, or I do not need this, I'm going to remove this one. So, but you see, you can do and clean the edge a little bit if you want to have a little bit cleaner. So if you want to, you can also shape a bit of the head and make the eye a little bit go more into the head. And how you do this is, again, grab the main color, stitch from the back to the left side, then stitch to the other side, and then you come out at the starting point. Oh, the starting point. If you have a longer needle, this is looking good. So then you can now come out of the starting point, then pull at the yarn so that the yarn goes below the thinker eyes or the safety eyes. You can also keep it like this if you want, like the leaves, so you can really personalize your lion. So if you want to, and then you just pull, then do a double knot and hide the yarn tail inside the head, and then it looks more like this one. So, and with this method you can also do a little bit of the head shaping. So I do not want this, then I remove this, but you have the option to shape the eyes and the head a little bit. So, option of shaping the head is to go more, to lift up the nose a little bit. So this is a technique, a method I really like and I prefer to do. And how to do this: you stitch here and come out about here, leave a tail, and then you go stitch into the next stitch and come out into the next stitch. So, and just doing one stitch, go below one stitch and come out. And the reason for this is we want to have this yarn being quite invisible, and the longer or the more stitches you go above, the more visible the yarn is. So going into the next one, coming out here. So then I'm going one down and go back. So skip one, then come out here. Coming here, then stitch back and then come out at the starting point. So remove your tapestry needle, and then you see when pulling, you'll see it's going a little bit more. So before we have like a plank, and if you're pulling, then you see this kind of shaping. So do not pull too tightly because we do not want to risk that your chenille yarn breaks. So then I cut the yarn and hide the yarn tail inside the head. So, and this is how you shape your head. So the next thing we are going to do is to embroider the nose. To embroider the nose, take black chenille yarn. I do not have black chenille yarn in super bulky yarn weight, so I'm taking 5 bulky yarn weight, but it's not a problem. I just need to embroider a little bit more, but so. Do about 1 meter, 1 yard of black chenille yarn. Take your tapestry needle and then so. To start the nose, stitch 2 stitches left on the nose, and then come out at the middle of the magic ring. Here is our magic ring, and we want to come out at the magic ring. So then stitch between round 2 and round 3 here, and come out on the other side like here. So now we have our left border of the nose, and then stitch into the magic ring, in the center of the magic ring again, and come out in the middle. So, and then again stitch into the magic ring, in the center of the magic ring, and come out between, anywhere between here. And you continue until the black yarn covers all of the part. You can do 1 layer to have more smaller nose, but you can add 2 or more layers to make the nose more bulky, or as bulky as you want to. So it's really up to your preference. If you want to have a smaller nose, less. If you want to have a bigger nose, like I have this version, I have, I think, 3 layers of black. So it's really up to your preference. So just continue. If you want the nose have bigger, yeah, just building up the layer, and then it's going bigger and bigger by nature. So, and just continue until you have your desired chunkiness. And I will see you there. So, for this nose, I decided to make a more smaller nose. So, if you want to, you can make a clear edge. So, for comparison, this is a bigger nose. No? Let's see the comparison. And here I just do the bubbles without cleaning the edge. But if you want to, you can clean the edge. I'm going to show you with this lion. So, and here you stitch into the center of the magic ring, come out at one of the edge. So, then you bring the yarn to the other side and stitch into the magic ring again. So, and then if you want to, you finish so. So, then finally you stitch here and then come out at the starting point where you insert the yarn the first time. So. Then do a double knot. Cut the yarn and hide the yarn inside the head. So, with this tail function as stuffing material. So, and your nose is also done. So, and the only thing we have to do is the hair, the mane. For the hair you have two options, or you can have a more fuller hair or more smaller one. So here I have used the same yarn weight. This is super bulky chenille yarn and this is super bulky chenille yarn. And for this I'm going with a 5 bulky chenille yarn, the brown, because I want to have the mane a little bit more thinner, so that this is more like, I would say, the papa lion, and this is a teenager, young adult lion. So it really doesn't matter which yarn you're using, it's really up to your preferences. Be aware that using the same hook size as your hair color, in this case is a 5mm hook. As reference, this one is super bulky chenille yarn done with 6mm crochet hook, and this is also super bulky chenille yarn done with 5mm crochet hook. So the lion, this one is a little bit smaller, but all you see are a little bit denser, but that means I can use the bulky chenille yarn quite easy. So, to do the hair, you turn your lion with the nose touching the table, then grab your hair color, form a loop. So, insert the hook, the loop, and then stitch in the center where you close the opening. So, grab the yarn and bring it where you stitched in. No. So, take the yarn and stitch in the center of the head where you did close the opening. So, stitch into the center, then grab the yarn, bring it through, and make a slip stitch. So, now the yarn is attached to the head, and we start with our first curl. Chain 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then skip the first stitch, the one next to your hook, and stitch into the second loop from the hook. And here you crochet 2 single crochet stitches. 1 and 2. So, in the next loop you also crochet 2 single crochet stitches. So, and to make sure that our curl is curly and quite dense at the head, we do not see the head part, we have 1 loop left, and here you crochet 3 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, and 3. So, as we have crochet in spiral rounds, you should see like our stitch here. Then what you're going to do is you stitch into the next stitch. So, see what are the cords. This one, and do a single crochet, a slip stitch. So, and then we repeat our curl with chain 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Skip this stitch and crochet 2 single crochet stitch into the second loop from the hook. 1 and 2. Then another 2 single crochet stitches into the following stitch. 1, also chain stitch 2, and in the last one you crochet 3. 1, 2, and 3. So, then stitch into the next stitch and do a slip stitch, and then we repeat with our 4 chain stitches, 3 and 4, and repeat with 2 single crochet stitches into the second loop from the hook, then another 2 in the following chain stitch, 1 and 2, and 3 single crochet stitches into the last one. One, 2, and 3. And then again, stitch into the next stitch. And then you do your curls in spiral rounds. So following the stitches of your head. And you continue until you have also done 1 round prior of the ear, and you finish here at the neck part, the back part, and I will see you there. When you have done your last curl, slip stitch into a neck stitch, and then pull the yarn, cut the yarn, so then take your tapestry needle and hide the yarn inside the head. So you can bring the yarn inside the head, or you can pull and cut the yarn here. You do the same with your starting tail. So again, bring it back to the head, then come out again, and then cut the yarn. Make sure you do not cut any yarn crocheted the quill. So and our hair is now done. So for comparison, this hair was done with bulky chenille yarn and a 5mm hook, and for comparison, this one was done with super bulky yarn, and you can see that this hair's mane is a little bit more bigger and this a little bit smaller. So depending on your desired look, if you want to have more a prominent mane, more subtle one, you can use both yarn weight. Now you all still have your tail, the bottom of the body. So if you have any holes, then you can close this opening. If not, then you can cut the yarn. I do not have any holes, but let's pretend I have any. Then take your tapestry needle. Let's assume here is a gap, a hole. Then I can just close the opening. So at the end, do a knot or double knot, and then bring the yarn inside of the body. If you stuffed the body, then you can weave in the yarn tail and hide the yarn tail inside the body. If not, then you just pull a little bit and then cut the yarn. So your lion is now finished. What you also can do is to add some claws. And how you do this, I'm going to show you now. Take brown cotton yarn with the yarn that you would use when you're using those 3 up to 4 millimeter. So bring the yarn about the size of your arm or the length of your arm. Your lion is now finished. What you optional can add some claws. I'm going to show you how to do this. So for the claws, take some brown cotton yarn with about the yarn weight you're using with working with 3, 4 hook size. So take your yarn, cut it at length about your arm. So then double strength the yarn. Take your tapestry needle. So, and then take your first leg, stitch the back side. So we want to add 3 strands. So stitch in the back side and come out at the very top of your first claw. So this is round 1, 2 and 3. So between round 3 and 4. Leave a bit of a tail here. Then you can see this is our first round with the magic ring in the center. Now stitch between round 1 and round 2 on this side. And then come out at the middle where your middle claw will be. So then you stitch into the center of the magic ring and come out on the left side of the third claw. So, and then stitch between the first and the second round, now on the left side, and then come out the starting point where you entered the yarn. So now it looks. This is the magic ring, round 1, round 2. The middle claw is the magic ring, the center of the magic ring, and the left and the right between round 1 and round 2, about this size. So then you do a double knot, cut the yarn here, and hide the yarn tail inside the feet. And then you repeat with the second one. So stitching from the back to the front, then stitching here between round 1 and round 2, come out in the middle where your middle claw will be, come out, then stitch into the center of the magic ring, come out where your left claw will end, then stitch between round 1 and 2, left part, And then you come out at the starting point, then double knot the yarn and hide the yarn tail inside the feet. As I do not add any claws here, so I have one lion with claws, one lion without the claws. You can see different look. So, and once this done, your lion is now finished. So, see you in the next tutorial.